Hey everyone, it's Erin here. I hope you're doing great. We're over here kind of fighting off a cold, and yeah, the boys got sick the other day, and Romero and I are also fighting it off. So yeah, here we go. So I've got some exercises for you today that you can do. They're not super duper stressful, so if you're also maybe fighting something off or not feeling like jumping around and going crazy with exercises, then these are some exercises for you. Increase strength, work on that resistance training, which is super important. And there's a couple things that I've just been focusing on the last little bit here, and just more and more and more, just as I'm 40 and coming to terms with a lot of realizations about what I can or how my body is reacting to things, and maybe the care that I didn't take of my body when I was younger. And it's actually great that now, in this last week actually, we've been working super hard to cut out processed sugars out of our diet, and I think that's going really, really well, and I feel amazing. And I know that cutting out processed sugars is really assisting my immune system and our immune systems in fighting off this cold. It's also really important. And again, strength training. Since I quit coaching at the gym, I definitely haven't been carrying around or pushing as much weight as I did before, and I definitely noticed from some body scans that my skeletal muscle mass has decreased a little bit. And it's one thing after 40, especially, well, after 30 really, that you really need to pay attention to, especially in women, to help prevent osteoporosis. So I know, sorry for the long intro, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight and maybe things to try or things to look into, and reminders. So if you're a woman or a man after over 30 years old, you definitely want to make sure that you are doing enough resistance training and decreasing your processed sugars. Especially, everything thrives off of sugar in the body, okay? Like viruses, bacteria, cancers, all of that. So eliminating processed sugars is maybe can be challenging sometimes, absolutely. But there's a lot of alternatives out there now, than substitutes that can really kind of ease that transition. And just remember that you don't have to do anything super fast. You don't have to go all or nothing. It can be a slow transition if that works better for you, or it can be like okay, I gotta cut it off completely. But just make sure that you have a plan and you're talking to somebody so you do it safely. And yeah, okay. So enough of that. Let's get to these exercises. I have a medium resistance band today. Just a resistance band is, in general, is key for this one. If not, if you don't have that, that is okay. You can do all of these without a band, essentially. You can grab a can or a weight or water bottle we're doing an overhead press. You can use a long towel, or some leggings even, or anything that's maybe got a little bit of give to it that you can press against and pull at the same time for a bit of a leg extension. Okie dokes. All right, so to get started, I'm going to start with an overhead press. So I'm just going to sit on my band near the edge of my seat. Just I find that most comfortable and stable. So you kind of place your feet out wide, press the feet into the ground. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath here because of the cold, but bear with me. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this around my hand, okay, this band, so I can kind of fist bump it, essentially. And I'm gonna take my elbow to about 45 degrees or straight out to the side, whichever one you like. Okay, you can go straight out for an overhead press here, or straight in front, whichever one feels best for you. So if you have any shoulder issues and one position works better for you, then try that, okay? So I'm gonna do a 45 degrees. We're gonna fist bump basically straight up into the air, shoulders down and back, shoulder blades pulling down the back as you press up. So pull them down, press up for 2 seconds, and down for 3, 2, 1, and up for 2, down for 3, 2, 1. Everything is pulling in here, engaged, and ready to go. All right, so you're gonna do 10 to 12 of those each side. And then here's your band here. I'm gonna double up here to get some extra tension, but depending on where you're at, you can just have that band under the arch of your foot, and we're gonna work on a push and a pull. So you're pushing with your leg, kind of like you're doing a leg press, sort of. This is like a DIY leg press or a do-at-home leg press, okay? So you're gonna be sitting, if you need a little bit more balance support, you can move back to the back of your chair, so you're leaning on the back of the chair. You're gonna hold both sides, and with this one, you don't wanna be hunched over or rolling those shoulders forward, so you wanna think about pulling the shoulders back and down, okay? Squeezing and holding them. If your band is long enough, you can pull into a row and hold here. So you're getting that isometric row and squeezing in between the shoulders, holding that. And then here, you're gonna press straight out with that foot. So pressing down towards the ground, press out and in. Okay, I find it easier on the edge of my chair, but if balance is a problem for you, then definitely make sure that you're leaning back, okay? So from here, using that core, pressing out, okay, stability, squeezing those shoulders down and back, shoulder blades together, everything is pulled back, and you're getting a little bit of resistance as you squeeze your glutes and press down. We're focusing on here, squeezing those glutes for support and balance support, and really firing up our quadriceps muscles, okay? Pressing here and out. So 10 to 12 of those each leg. All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into a band and pull apart. I did have something else, but now I've forgotten it. All right, so band and pull apart here. I remember, we're doing another leg one. Here we go. Especially if you're sitting and you're more because you're sick, fire up the lower body muscles. My apologies. You can also add the band and pull apart. Maybe I'll do that as well, okay? So here, I'm going to wrap the band around. I'm gonna squeeze it so my knees are kind of pressing together and squeezed a little bit with the pressure of the band. Okay, you can just hold the band. Again, you can work on that grip strength. Hold it against your thighs here, and your feet are together. So you're gonna keep your heels together, and we're just gonna take the knees out like a clamshell, okay? So toes can come out, okay, and back in. So we're firing up, okay, the outer glutes here. You wanna, out here is where you wanna be feeling it, okay? Clamshell, and in. So out for 2, 1, 2, and in, 1, 2, 3, nice and controlled. Out, and in for 3. Out for 2, pause at the top, in for 3. All right, squeezing those bum cheeks together the whole time. And then, yes, well, let's add in a band and pull apart since I'm there. We'll take your arms straight out in front. You can do this from seated as well. Belly button pulling in, always with all these exercises, of course. Shoulders rolling down and back. You're gonna take your arms away, okay, and let them come back together. So it's like you're trying to rip apart this band, but you're not bending your elbows and pulling back. You're just keeping those arms straight. So from the side, and squeezing the shoulder blades down and together, okay, towards the spine and together. Out for 2, in for 1, 2, 3. So when you're doing the band and pull apart, one thing that you want to make sure of is that you have enough tension there. So even if you're only going a little bit, so you're not expanding all the way out, so the band is coming to your chest, okay? You don't have to do this and push the chest forward. Okay, even if you've just got something little here, you can go out, still come in with control, but you don't want to have a loop or any slack in this band. So as you come back in, this is my stopping point, so you don't want to stop and take a break. You want to keep tension on the band the whole time. So out, pulling in, and stopping here just before the tension releases, and out. So time under tension is increased. And I mean, if you're fighting something off or not, I'm already warm. I'm kind of sweating a little bit because I'm fighting off a cold, but this is great. Maybe you can sweat it out a little bit too. Just make sure you're drinking lots and lots and lots of fluids. All right, guys, so those are your moves today. I hope you enjoyed these. And again, just take care and let me know if there's anything